everybody, welcome to another RodzSquad Retro Reviews. We're going to go ahead and piggyback on a video that we did just not too long ago, which we gave our thoughts on this little thing right here. Jay is going to step in on this one because he has his feelings on it. But yeah, we're just piggybacking on that video that we did, pretty much giving our thoughts on the Sega Genesis Mini. A lot of people got the idea that we were bashing it. In a way, we weren't bashing it. We were just giving our honest thoughts to what we think this product is and who this product is for, you know, and such. So not bashing it by no means. HDMI quality was awesome. The representation is also awesome. You have the you know, the actual bot. I mean, the retro look, everything is pretty awesome. I mean, down to the system itself, you know, with the little flap, even though it's really for nothing other than a cosmetic thing. That Tower Power, right? The Tower Power that's only came out in Japan. Explain that one to me. But I'm definitely gonna order it anyway, just because of the cosmetic issue, to make it look real nice. You know, and the little things here or there, the knickknacks. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a really nice little representation and a retro look to the actual console. At the end of the day, all these consoles, all these, it's just trying to
capitalize,
trying to
the originals.
Give us this. Okay, everything at the end of the day is trying to give us this. Okay. And all reliable, of course, still works with the power-based converter. So we'll put that on the side. Put that on the side over there. Thanks, Jay. So again, we were just giving feelings on that. So we're not trying to bash it. So what we want to do is, somebody had given us a great, a nice little suggestion. Yeah, one of the guys that watched our video, and he gave us a great suggestion to why not compare the Sega Genesis Mini to the other Atgames versions that have come out throughout the years.
With better games. Sega dropped the ball.
You heard that. The first one that we ended up getting was this one way back when. Am I correct? This is the little one. This is from Atgames, and you can see the amount of games that are in it. What was cool about this is that not only did it have about 80 some odd games, not all games were Genesis, of course, or Sega. There were some of those knockoff, I guess,
homebrews,
knockoff games.
Homebrews.
Yeah, I don't know homebrews, but knockoff games. But it did have a lot of games, a lot of titles. And as you can see, it came out 80 in all, but not all 80 were from Sega. But you know,
only 41 from some Sega.
Yeah, and the controllers that it came with were these wireless, crappy stuff.
Those are garbage.
Yeah, the infrared ones, you had to be actually in front of the console. You know, right here would have the little red, right? You have to like feed into this right here.
But they let you use your original Genesis controllers.
Right, that's what I was leading up to. At the end of the day, what was really cool about this, that not only that, but you can actually put a Sega Genesis cartridge.
Your cartridges on it.
So that, you know, in essence, I mean, people bash it. At the end of the day, as far as retro feel for it, it's pretty close to retro feel, especially when you can use your own games. At the emulation part, I mean, the sound, to me, Genesis always had a problem with sound.
It always had.
Not all the games sounded great, and I don't know if it was because of the chip for it or something. You know, the box, are you going to be difficult with me?
The box is going to be difficult.
You know, so I'm not sure. And this one, of course, was AV prior to the HDMI one that came out not too long ago. After that, we saw a nice little cute thing that I liked. That really was interesting. Was this an arcade stick that had 26 games in it, right? Had 26 games, pretty cool games here. Again, Collins and Alex Kidd. What is with the Collins and Alex Kidd? You know, I mean, Alex Kidd was cool at one time.
It might be easy to port over.
But check this out: Streets of Rage 1, Streets of Rage 2, both in the same game.
Same thing with this one.
You know, I mean, say what you want. Comic Zone again is on this one. Crackdown was a good, fun game. You know, again, Virtua Fighter 2. What's with the Virtua Fighter 2?
It must be easy to convert.
What was up
Everybody
with that?
picks that game.
Yeah, it's like, come on, what was going on?
Everybody knows the Saturn port was better.
Okay, how do we open this thing here? All right, let's see.
So, just for reference, this one has all 3 Streets of Rage games, Sonic 1, Sonic 2, and Sonic & Knuckles, and 3 Mortal Kombat games. This also has Shinobi 3 and Shadow Dancer.
Mortal Kombat's on there?
Yes, it is. All 3 of them.
Are you sure?
Yep.
I don't think on that one.
1, 2, 3, Mortal Kombat.
Big mess up for me, if you ask me. I mean, I don't know what they were thinking.
It's got all 3 Golden Axe games.
I don't know what they were thinking.
Like I said, Sega dropped the ball with this thing and put some games that don't belong here.
We've done videos on these things right here, so I'm gonna tag in the description where you can find the other videos that we've done on this. But again, this is Sega Genesis arcade. What does it call that?
Master.
Yeah, the arcade
And
master.
if I remember, you can put an SD card in this thing.
Yes,
You can put
actually
more
we
games
did. That's
on
what I was going to tap into that somewhere. Where was it?
So that's right here.
Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. It's right on top where you could put a micro SD into it, load all the ROMs, and play the game. So that was pretty cool.
Kind of makes it like a cheap EverDrive card.
Right, it had the 26 games that was already loaded in there, but you can actually go ahead online and get the actual, ROMs for these games plus all the whole library, which is pretty cool. The biggest and it was really nice. The buttons were nice. Again, I did a video on this. I don't want to go too much into it, but I did do a video on this. The only knock I had on this is the fact that there's no port, so you can connect the controller to it to make it 2 players.
Mm-hmm.
If this would have had a port to it, it would have been much better. But again, as you can see, it was AV. Okay, it was AV, not HDMI. Where little by little we're getting to the HDMI version. Okay, so
this one's not HDMI either. This is AV.
No, that's AV. Both of them are AV. Again, I'll put the descriptions to these reviews on the videos to the description, so you guys can check that out. We did that a couple of years ago, which of course is going to lead us up to the HDMI version of the Atgames. One big thing people got to remember: everyone attacked Atgames for what they were emulation and everything, but who licensed? But who licensed? Who licensed them to make the games? Sega, Genesis themselves. Sega did that. So shouldn't they get some of the blame for people attacking Atgames so much? They licensed this company for a long time to make different emulation systems. Also, the handheld. We have the handheld somewhere around here. Yep. The Sega Genesis handheld. All from Atgames, but they wouldn't have been able to do this without being licensed by Sega.
Also, knocking the Atgames system, they come with 6-button controllers.
Big one.
You don't have to buy separate controllers.
Again, but it does have the wireless stuff. Not crazy about the wireless. But again, you can connect the actual controllers to it. The actual Genesis.
Also plays Genesis games.
And plays Genesis games. Full HDMI. The presentation is awesome. I really like the way the picture looked. I didn't see any issues with that. It had the same options as the scan lines. Again, I don't know who wants to do the scan lines. The whole reason to have an HDMI is to have a better visual look to the game. Came with everything. So we did a video on this. We're going to add this onto the description also, so you guys can check that out. But let me get the Atgames console. Let me get the Atgames. Let me get the mini. Okay, so again, both of these were licensed by Sega. This is officially from Sega with the actual company and whatever they call it. Okay, fine. But again, this would not have been possible without Sega approving it. And they approved it for a long time because Atgames has been making games for consoles, emulation consoles for a long time with the Sega name on it, with many of the same games. So again, same thing. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna connect each of them so you can look at them real quick. But it's the same presentation. The biggest difference is that this right here, you can play your actual Sega Genesis games. And on top of that, I have an Evercart. With the micro SD in it. That I was able to, guess what? Play the whole Genesis library, Sega Master System library on this. In a great look on the TV because it's connected to the HDMI. So again, I don't know what the beef is into attacking this so much, but again, I don't want to make this look like I'm attacking obviously the Sega product also. It's great for retro, a retro feel, has a nice retro feel to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put it on TV real quick to show a little bit of the games or the differences. But again, this Mortal Kombat.
All 3 Mortal Kombat, all 3 Sonics plus Sonics.
The game selections are better here than here. I don't know what's the issue. I mean, please, somebody leave comments, guys. I really want to make sure that we're on the same page here.
This is all personal opinion, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Don't
if you feel that they hit the ball with this, maybe they did. But to me, I don't think they did. I think they dropped the ball.
Me neither.
Because if I can get this, and it has better games on it.
And cheaper.
And I can play Genesis cartridges on it,
with the
Sounds
regular
like a home
controls. But again, I don't want to make it look like I'm knocking this. So we're going to go ahead and connect this to the television real quick. Give you guys a different perspective of what each system carries as far as games is concerned. And we're going to do that right now.
I don't think the Edge Drive part works on this.
She paused it, right?
Go.
All right, so we connected the Atgames Sega Genesis HDMI one, which was this one that has 85 games in it.
There's Mega Drive games in here.
And yeah, Sega Master System, Sega Master System games, and of course Sega Genesis games and Game Gear games. That's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
This has a whole list of different generations of games. You know, again, knocking on this. I don't hear any music to this. I don't remember. Did it ever have
It's
music
quiet.
to it?
No, there's no music.
It never had
to it.
music to it. I do like the little soundtrack or remix that they put for the other one. But again, this is the Sega Genesis Flashback from Atgames. And you can see all the different games. You got the Sega Genesis, all the Sega games. Sonic games are separated. You have the Mortal Kombat games. Here it keeps the recent games that you played. Also has a save feature. But
Sonic Drift.
yeah. I mean, but just think about it. But let's go down. Let's go. Look, Vector Man. Why is Vector? There you go. You get it? You guys get it? I mean, to me, it doesn't have Street Fighter on it.
No.
But I could play the Street Fighter if I wanted to. It's the big difference. Because I have the Street Fighter cartridge. I could play the Street Fighter cartridge Champion Edition on this. So I don't see what the hate so much is to this. Okay, again, I don't want to make this look like I'm bashing the Mini. I am not by any means bashing the Mini. I'm just trying to show the fact that it all depends on who you are. If you're a true retro guy, this will be nice for you after you hack it.
Which we will be doing.
Right, after you hack it. Because after you hack it, then you have something with all the different games on it, and we wouldn't have this. But if you're a person who's like a casual guy that really likes, that wants to have something to sit there, I see nothing wrong with the Atgames product. I see nothing wrong with the Atgames product. So I don't understand where the hate comes from. I really don't. And again,
It sounds
Mortal Kombat.
Sounds fine.
Get over here!
You still have to enter the code, I see.
You always gotta answer the question.
That's pretty cool. That's retro. I don't think the game looks too bad. But then again, remember what you're playing.
You know,
This is 1992, 93, right?
92.
This has the scan lines. The reason it looks like that is because you didn't take the scan lines off. Okay, it's not an HDMI. That's scan lines. See the scan lines on it? And you can take the scan lines off.
Can you?
Yes,
Does it automatically just default with scan lines?
I believe so.
So
See
as
the
you
scan
can see,
lines?
it
It
runs
runs perfectly.
perfect. It works. Everything's functional.
Sounds good. But let's pick something. Let's pick something
That's on
that
the
it's
actual
on
console.
both. All right. So let's do Sonic the Hedgehog. See the scan filter thing was on. All right. So let's go to Sonic the Hedgehog one. Because
One
Sonic
thing
is
about
on-
this one is that controlling the menu can be complicated sometimes.
I think it's pressing it to the right or left or something like that.
It's
Is what
like
you're
A
doing.
and B, up and
Yeah.
down. It's a
Go
little
to Sonic. What game did you get?
Sonic.
See the scan line? That's scan lines. You take the scan lines off and it looks great. See that?
So
That's
I
to
would-
give
I
you.
would take the scan lines
You'd
off.
have to go back to the thing, but just leave it for that like that. It's fine. But it sounds fine to me. Again, this is for the casual guy, if you ask me. But if you don't have the money for something to really spend on the $100 to spend on the other one, where the hell did I put it?
$80 the other one.
Where did I put it?
Right
He's
there in
so
front of you, man.
small he can hide. Okay, but again, it sounds fine to me. That's just me. I don't want to yell over this, so let's lower it.
Keep in mind, I'm not good at Sonic. I'm more of the fighting game person.
But again, this is my ideas on the Atgames. I mean, that's what it is. And once this gets hacked, it's going to be even better. It's going to be even better. My issue is the games that they chose for this. So let's stop this real quick and let's just connect this bad boy right here.
All right.
All right, guys. So we just connected the Mini. Obviously, I will never complain on the presentation. The presentation is awesome. Look how beautiful it looks. You have the background music, which is remixes of all different Sonic properties. the fact that you can go ahead and go from region to region by playing a Japanese version of it or the PAL version of it, you know, those type of things. That's interesting to somebody who's never had that experiences of playing it in those ways.
No matter what, Virtual Fighter 2 would find its way.
Yeah, it's just I don't get it. I don't get it. But the presentation is just awesome, man. All the different ways that you could experience this, which is great. My issues is the game selection. The game selections are an issue because a true gamer, a true retro gamer, doesn't just go for eye candy. He needs substance. And the substance comes from our memories of playing some of our most fun, great games. Once this console is hacked and we have all those different ROMs in them, I'm thinking that it's going to definitely
Why is
be
Wily
much
Wars
better.
here?
I don't know. I don't see Alex Kidd again. Tetris. I mean, who's going to play that Tetris? It's not even one of the best versions of Tetris. Again, we're not knocking. You know, I do think that once this is hacked, it's going to be the best one of all of them. But at the same token, remember, bashing and attacking the Atgames versions really you're letting Sega get away with being the people who are licensing Atgames to make the games in the first place. Your issue should have been not to Atgames, should have been to Sega, who allowed the product to go out there, even though the consensus was that the games were not up to par, or the consoles were not up to par. How can you blame the vendor if the actual company themselves allow the product to go out there? It's all about money, guys. It's all about money. At the end of the day, it's all about money. But we do appreciate having the Mini. We do like the fact to have the Mini part of our library here. Definitely going to be a much better experience, as I said already a couple of times, as far as having it hacked. Just like we did with the NES Mini and the PlayStation Mini and the SNES Mini that we have. Every one of those systems have been hacked. Every one of those systems have multiple different games on them, which makes it a much better experience. And it's obviously definitely a shelf saver, right? We don't have to have all the games out there. We can put all the other stuff on, in storage and have these out here, which take very limited space, and we're good. You know. So again.
There's no scan lines on this one.
Because
No, I didn't put them on.
we didn't put them on.
That was my mistake.
You know, but the fact is, not knocking the Mini. We do like the Mini. We don't want people to think that we're bashing the Mini. Our issues mainly are the games that were included for it. So once it gets hacked, modded. It's a better word. I don't like the word hack. Modded is going to be a much better experience. So once we get to do that, we'll do another video and we'll touch base on this. But thanks everybody again for watching our video, leaving your comments. No feedback is wrong feedback. Just want you guys to understand. You know, when you put videos out, you leave yourself out there to critique. Critique is fine. I have no issues with that. There are a lot of guys I've seen that just bash their viewers. We don't do that. Everybody got their own feelings. No feedback is wrong feedback. But then again, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully it's a bit informative.
Yep.
And we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching and keep it
retro. Hey guys, we ended up fixing the scan line on this. As you can see now, it looks a little bit different, but I have to admit the HDMI on the Sega Genesis Mini does look better. But yeah, this is with the scan lines taken out. So just wanted to show you guys you can actually do it. Alright guys, thanks for watching.